Hey everyone, welcome to Reality TV News Update, the place where we bring you the latest updates, fun moments, and behind the scenes stories you won't want to miss. Inside the Big Brother 27 house, Monday is veto ceremony day, and with that comes the start of the nominees' campaigns. One of the candidates has already begun contacting their fellow BB27 house guests to promote themselves. Read on to find out what Keanu's pitch was and whether or not it is swaying any of the house guests to keep him in case he loses the BB blockbuster comp for week 9 of Big Brother. To test the live feeds on Paramount Plus, sign up right away. So that you don't miss anything else this season, don't forget to sign up for the Big Brother live feeds right now. Enjoy. Back up and read the daytime highlights report before moving on to overnight events. Big Brother 27 live feed highlights on Monday, September 8, 2025. 3 p.m. BBT. Kelly tells Lauren she just has to tell Keanu that she can't beat him in F2. Affirms that Keanu will honor her move. 3:03 p.m. BBT. Ashley and Will are discussing how quickly things change at home. Ashley mentions that Keanu didn't know he was going up. Will doesn't understand why he was feeling so safe. They both agree that if he doesn't win BB Blockbuster, he will lose by a landslide. 3:15 p.m. BBT. Lauren discusses what Kelly advised her to say to Keanu. Vince says that's a bold move. Lauren says she isn't going to do that though. 3:20 p.m. BBT. Ashley tells Will and Morgan that Lauren's fearful behavior demonstrates to her that she would not use the veto against Will or Ashley if she won. Morgan says she told them that from the start. 3:35 p.m. BBT. Will tells Morgan that Lauren clearly doesn't like her. Says that she sees how close Morgan is to Vince and she wants Vince to herself. She feels like him spending all this time with Lauren is him choosing her over Morgan. 3:45 p.m. BBT. Lauren tells Vince that she really hopes Ashley wins BBBB. Vince says that would be insane if Ashley won and then they evicted Keanu. 3:50 p.m. BBT. Keanu tells Ashley they have been playing with a bunch of idiots all season. Says he told Rachel they needed to stick together because he couldn't handle working with the other HGs on his own. 4:10 p.m. BBT. Keanu tells Kelly that voting for Ashley to stay is more important so that they have people to go after Lauren, despite the fact that she is annoying. 4:25 p.m. BBT. Kelly tells Vince and Lauren that Ashley told her she had to get better at acting because when they were all outside talking, Kelly's face said she was bored with Morgan's conversation. 4:40 p.m. BBT. Lauren asks Kelly if Keanu wants her out over everyone else now and Kelly confirms. 4:50 p.m. BBT. Keanu approaches Lauren to talk, and Lauren begins to apologize for hosting him. She says she just felt like he was the best rival to Ashley and will out of everyone else left. Morgan tells Vince that she doesn't want to talk about it right now when he asks if he did something. 4:55 p.m. BBT. Keanu asks Lauren if he comes down, what choice does he have but to go after Lauren? Also informs her that she will be the next target if he leaves this week because she was the one who finally got him out. He tells Lauren that he wishes he listened to Rachel and put Lauren up last week. 5 p.m. BBT. Keanu tells Lauren that she thinks she's in a great position, but if he leaves, Morgan is going straight after Lauren. 5:05 p.m. BBT. Will tells Ashley that if Morgan cries over Vince one more time, he's going to lose his S. Ashley says she has cried every day for the last 4 days, even though she won veto 3 days ago. 5:15 p.m. BBT. Vince tells Morgan that he finds himself in a tough position with Lauren putting Morgan up. Morgan tells Vince if Lauren truly cared about Vince's game, Morgan wouldn't have touched the block this week. 5:25 p.m. BBT. Vince tells Morgan that he doesn't want her to think that he is friends with her enemy, but he needs all the numbers he can get, and right now he only has Morgan and Lauren. 5:30 p.m. BBT. Morgan says the one thing she hates about the elimination comps is that the outgoing Ho can compete again. 5:40 p.m. BBT. Morgan, talking to herself, says that she is confused why she keeps getting asked if there is something more between her and Vince. Says she likes him as a friend and respects his relationship with Kelsey. 6 p.m. BBT Vince is back outside with Morgan. He informs her that Kelly was giggling and that he will nominate Lauren, Vince, and Morgan if Keanu wins Ho. 6:10 p.m. BBT Lauren tells Ava that she talked to Keanu and he didn't have anything nice to say. 6:15 p.m. BBT Ashley asks Vince how he feels about putting Lauren up, and he says it's going to be hard, but it's going to get to a point where he doesn't have a choice. 6:35 p.m. BBT Ava tells Kelly and Lauren that she feels more aligned with them and wants to vote with them from now on. 6:45 p.m. BBT Morgan tells Ashley and Vince that Ava can't make it to F4 because everyone loves her. 6:50 p.m. BBT Morgan says that she isn't worried about Kelly because she will lose this game sitting next to any of them. 7:20 p.m. BBT Keanu tells Kelly that Lauren told him she put him up over Kelly because she thinks they have a good relationship, but he feels like he's done more for Lauren's game than Ava or Vince. 8 p.m. BBT Ava confides in Will that she is concerned about the way BB portrays her. 8:10 p.m. BBT Ashley tells Keanu that she knows if she keeps him this week, it will save her through at least 2 more evictions. Morgan, on the other hand, is explaining to Vince that Rachel, Vince, Ava, and Will are, in her opinion, the best candidates for AFP. 8:15 p.m. BBT Vince reveals to Morgan that he does not wish for Ava, Kelly, or Keanu to win Ho on Thursday. 8:45 p.m. BBT Kelly tells Ava that Morgan and Vince are driving her insane. 8:50 p.m. BBT Kelly tells Ava that there is a chance that Ashley, Morgan, and Vince will keep Keanu over Will this week. They think it makes more sense to keep Will. 8:55 p.m. BBT Ava doesn't think that there is a chance Morgan will keep Keanu this week because he has made it clear that Morgan is a target for him. She thinks they are lying to Keanu. 9:10 p.m. BBT Will tells Ava that Morgan was crying real tears over Vince being upstairs with Lauren. Says Morgan thinks Vince should be upset with Lauren for putting Morgan up. 10 p.m. BBT Keanu is campaigning to Morgan. Declares that Lauren is the house common foe. 10:05 p.m. BBT Keanu declares that if he wins Ho, he will pursue Lauren, Ashley, and Ava. Morgan says she's heard different. Keanu asserts that it makes no sense for him to pursue Morgan right now. 10:25 p.m. BBT Morgan says that Rachel being there was better for their game, but now that she is gone, they are bigger targets. 11:15 p.m. BBT Morgan and Vince go to talk about Morgan's conversation with Keanu when Keanu walks into the room. 11:30 p.m. BBT Keanu and Vince are talking about how close Kelly and Lauren suddenly are. Keanu says since they evicted Kat, Lauren needed a different girl to hang out with. 11:45 p.m. BBT Ava and Morgan are talking about Rachel being eliminated rather than evicted. Ava says she didn't know she signed up to be on Squid Games. 11:50 p.m. BBT Ava informs Morgan that she prefers Will to Ashley. 12 a.m. BBT Morgan tells Ashley that her talk with Keanu went well, and if he wasn't on the block next to Will and Ashley, she might have considered keeping him. 12:20 a.m. BBT Morgan seems to be pushing the idea of keeping Keanu over Will because he will go after Lauren to Ashley and Vince. Ava joins the conversation with Morgan, Vince, and Ashley at 12:35 a.m. BBT Morgan says Keanu told her it would be dumb for her to get rid of him this week, but he's been coming after her all season. BBT 12:40 a.m. Kelly's frequent interactions with Lauren irritate Morgan. 1:05 a.m. BBT Morgan is pushing Vince to keep Ashley over Will this week, but Vince is pushing back. 1:25 a.m. BBT Morgan talks about Lauren not winning if she makes it to F2 and says that actions speak louder than words. 1:40 a.m. BBT Vince gets called to the DR. Morgan says to the cams that it's hard for her because Morgan's enemy in the game is an ally for Vince. 1:45 a.m. BBT Morgan says she hopes America likes the dynamic between her and Vince. Declares that she cannot wait to meet his girlfriend and spend time with him outside the house. 2:15 a.m. BBT. Vince is back from the DR, and they go back to Morgan's feelings about him hanging out with Lauren. Again. 2:20 a.m. BBT. Vince tells Morgan he didn't like how much time she was spending with Keanu last week. 2:50 a.m. BBT. Morgan tells Vince she just wants to know that Vince has her back. Vince tells her that he doesn't want her to think that he is jumping ship. Morgan is again reminding Vince that she was Lauren's target this week. 3 a.m. BBT. Vince and Morgan discuss being respectful to Kelsey and that nothing they have done could be considered cheating. 3:15 a.m. BBT. Vince is irritated that Keanu told him that if the vote goes against him this week, he would assume it was Vince and not vote for him if he makes it to F2. 3:20 a.m. BBT. Vince aspires to see Kelly become more self-aware. 4 a.m. BBT. Morgan tells Vince they should turn Keanu against Kelly by telling him everything she's been saying about wanting to blindside him this week or next. 4:05 a.m. BBT. They are now going over voting scenarios. 4:30 a.m. BBT. Morgan is back to pushing keeping Ashley over Will. 4:35 a.m. BBT. Morgan is retiring to sleep. 4:55 a.m. BBT. Vince's lights are out. If Keanu doesn't win the BB blockbuster, it is clear that the house guests will keep Will or Ashley over him. However, the vote between Ashley and Will is going to be a closer call. Morgan and Vince spent more time telling each other about how they feel about the other spending so much time with other house guests than actually talking about the game. Morgan is attempting to persuade Vince to choose Ashley over Will, but Vince appears determined to keep Will. As the week progresses, keep an eye out for additional developments in voting scenario.